you say Liberty Mutual customizes your home insurance so you only pay for what you need.
Thanks, blooming.
Only pay for what you need at libertymutual.com.
Liberty, 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 liberty.
My grand opening is tomorrow. Can I get custom posters printed today?
It's possible with Staples Connect.
I need to promote my new curbside pickup service.
Also possible. Staples Connect can help your business grow with custom printed sales and marketing materials. Now get 20% off signs, banners, or posters when you spend $75 or more. Explore what's new at your local Staples. Staples Connect, the working and learning store. Ends 10-2. Exclusions apply. Visit staples.com/signage for details.
Angie's List is now Angie, and caring for your home just got easier. Whether you need help with routine maintenance or a dream remodel, Angie makes it easy to see reviews, compare quotes, and connect with top local pros who can get the job done right. Plus, you can see upfront pricing and instantly book hundreds of projects. No phone tap, just the work you need done at a time that works for you. Angie's got your to-do list covered from start to finish. Book your next home project today at Angie.com. That's ANGI.com. Deb's constipation with belly pain, discomfort, and bloating kept giving her grief. She talked to her doctor to get some relief. Turns out Deb had irritable bowel syndrome with constipation or IBS-C, which was a start. Saying yes to Linzess will turn to her heart.
Linzess, or linaclotide, is a prescription medicine that treats IBS-C in adults. Linzess works differently than laxatives. It lets you have more frequent and complete bowel movements. It helps relieve overall abdominal symptoms, including discomfort and bloating. These symptoms were studied in combination, not individually. Do not give Linzess to children less than 6, and it should not be given to children 6 to less than 18. It may harm them. Do not take Linzess if you have a bowel blockage. Get immediate help if you develop unusual or severe stomach pain, especially with bloody or black stools. The most common side effect is diarrhea, sometimes severe. If it's severe, stop taking Linzess and call your doctor right away. Other side effects include gas, secondary pain, and swelling. IBS-C. Talk to a doctor today. Say yes to Linzess. Linzess.com.
I wouldn't say daily, but at least a few times a week. Sometimes they're major, sometimes they're not. They misspeak. I don't know if I've ever made him look up for someone probably correctly. Where I made a mistake, not doing a bad prediction or anything like that, as egregious as something that occurred yesterday. The Minnesota Vikings were playing the Arizona Cardinals in an exciting game, back and forth. Kyler Murray, Rondell Moore, boy, the Lions can use an explosive player. Anyway, I digress. But it came down to a field goal, and not a long field goal. A makeable field goal. A makeable field goal. And you know the Lions have some problems with field goals the past few years. And the mistake, yes, is by the kicker. But I want you to listen to the mistake the broadcaster makes. That's Paul Allen, who's also famous for the farm interception and the NFC Championship game. This is not Detroit. It wasn't like a complete shank job, but I don't know, if you're doing play-by-play, at least wait till the referee puts on where it's so obvious, or he puts up his hand.
Yeah, it's not like they delay the call.
Well, you're on the radio, nobody can see it. Just wait to get it right. That's unbelievable. And he's a really, really good announcer.
he should blame Mike Zimmer, 100%, because after the game, Mike Zimmer was asked about it, and he talked about the back and forth and how they were able to get in position, and the fact that his kicker, Greg Joseph, did miss an extra point. But to come down to the fact that he says, and he admits in his mind, he says, I'm thinking this should be an easy one here. And then Greg Joseph goes out and misses it. Is that not the ultimate jinx? When your head coach thinks you're going out there, he's got all the confidence in the world, he calls your number, this one is in the bank, this one's easy, we've got to win, and then you go and miss it. Is that not the ultimate jinx?
Yes, pretty much. And he suffered from bad kickers before. And then how many kickers did he cut? Like, was it last year or the year before?
Oh, yeah. Time and time again. And so you would think that he knows, especially after your guy missed an extra point. Like, this is not a gimme. No kick in the NFL, other than, especially since they moved the extra point back from the 2-yard line, is a gimme. It's just not. And Mike Zimmer, with his history, with his experience, he's still sitting there at the end of this game going, this one's a gimme.
Yeah.
I got this one.
By the way, I mean, earlier when we were making predictions, I think I said either Kingsbury and then later I said
Starting left to 6769 Banner Street. In 1 mile, turn left onto West Long Lake Road.
Yeah. Well, and they started out very similar last year, and people were talking after 8 games, well, maybe Mike Zimmer's done.
team. Greg Hargrave is here. The Gov is here. Heather Park in studio. John at his home office, where his 5-day-old son got lionized very early. Got teased. He said, Daddy, they're winning. Daddy, they're winning. John said, well, I don't know, son. Just wait to see what happens in the second half, where our defense just blows.
Oh my goodness. He did watch the game, and he was grumpy all night because he couldn't believe what he witnessed on his first Lions experience.
I mean, John,
you
listen to this. My 3 kids have all seen the Lions above 500 in franchise history. The Lions won their first game after my child's birth all 3 times.
oh well.
Dang, that's so lucky.
That's a miracle.
Yeah, it is, yeah.
No, I would also say he was not lionized last night. That was not a lionization.
No,
There was no lionization moments.
no, there was a few things in the game.
I mean,
just, like really strange time
I'd say that's
management.
a par for the course performance.
Yeah, yes.
Well, yeah, I think
There
it
was some
was.
strange time management. There was a great, 3rd and 12, and then Adams gets a 50-yard completion from Rodgers. 4th and 1 incomplete. Goff's fumble. I mean, there was some great moments in there. Hey, 5 of the first 6 Packer possessions were touchdowns. I mean, that's maybe not lionization, but man, oh man. And look, we
They
Yeah,
punted
but-
once.
say it again.
They punted once.
They did, but and you mentioned, and they're able to put one half together. Just imagine if they had the second half of Week 1 against the Niners and the first half against the Pack. You'd have a team that could make the Super Bowl.
Well, not the second half against maybe the last 5
Well,
minutes.
the last 7 minutes. We'll take that. Whatever. If we got to take halves, I'll take that half. But it was. I don't. And I know that you like to say they're lionized and people get lionized. There was nothing in that game that was that unusual. But we saw what we kind of expected of the Lions this year, where you're going to have moments of hope and excitement, obviously going into halftime up 17-14, and then reality kicks you right in the backside in the second half because they just don't have the depth. They don't have the same level of talent. They're not playing the same game as a lot of other NFL teams are.
Well,
right
especially in the back 7. I mean, their linebackers, with all due respect to veterans like, the captain, Alex Anzalone, and Jamie Collins, they just can't keep up. And the secondary, I mean, when Akuda is out for the year and that's a problem, then that's a problem.
Yeah, and how many times in the game did we hear, well, their best cover guy, Jeff Okudah, is out.
Right.
And exactly what you're saying. When you hear that, you keep thinking to yourself, wow, that's the best cover guy we have. And I actually thought Melon Fonwenu, when the ball hit him in the head on that one cover, and he didn't get his head around, I thought that was really good coverage.
I mean, he actually was okay, but he's going to be out for Campbell says his injury's not very good. So he'll probably be out for a while as well. So,
And on that pass, that was a great pass by Rodgers.
Yes.
That's why he is who he is. Perfect rainbow, dropped it in there. I thought he actually had good coverage there.
Right.
You're going to see that in this league. Players make plays.
And look,
Stars.
the front played decently, especially in the first half. Green Bay wasn't able to run through them like I thought they'd be able to, although some of those are credited with passes, basically run plays anyway, that Aaron Jones, technically it's a pass, so statistics are misleading. But I thought up front, Brockers had a sack, Nick Williams had a sack, they were okay, but it was the back 7 that was just horrific. I mean, it's serious. I mean, look, I know it's Aaron Rodgers, I know it's, Devontae Adams, they're just, Kanye had a big, big plays. They have to figure this out, because if not, it's going to be what we expect in 14 season, because they can't stop anybody.
At the next light,
And
turn
what
left.
you say about the defense all training camp and last week is, hey, up front we should be all right with Quara and Flowers and the rookies and Brockers. The linebackers, we know they're going to be effort guys, but there's going to they're not up to the speed that you need to opposite of a mullet.
They're living up to our expectations, though. Precisely. This is what we thought we'd get, and we're getting it. It just looks worse, especially when somebody's like, Aaron Rodgers is the quarterback. I mean, that's part of the problem. Look, the younger guys, the guys from the draft class, the young free agents, the undrafted free agents, they're going to need some time, but it's the veterans, and that's where I blame Brad Holmes. Why are you even bringing in these guys, Anzalone, if he can't play? I mean, for leadership, okay, great, he's a captain. Jamie Collins, he was brought in by the previous regime, so, I mean, I know the salary cap ramifications, whatever. Get this
At the
guy
stop
out.
sign, turn right onto Inkster Road.
John? Derek Barnes should be freaking playing. Just let him run all over the field for crying out loud.
Well, that's what I was going to say. I mean, Anzalone, he's there because, one, he was affordable, and there's a reason
In
why he was
1.4
available,
miles,
clearly.
turn right onto Northwestern Highway.
Well, but you get a draft pick in Derek Barnes that throughout training camp and preseason, even last week, I thought played pretty darn well, was at least in position, but he's got some speed to him. We need to see that more.
Yes.
And if we're going to admit, like I think everybody has, that we're in a rebuild, then do you go young in the secondary, go young at linebackers too?
Yes, absolutely. Look, it's going to be, we know it's going to be painful. That's okay. And, the focus in this country is on the quarterback. Look, Goff was much better in the first half than he was in the second half. We've seen other quarterbacks around here have, one half they're good, one half they're not. He was great in the first half, second half, not so much, but that's not why they lost the game. And Dan Campbell talked after the game where, said it's all about the offense, it's putting on the offense. Well, it's putting on the offense because he knows his defense can't stop anyone. So they got to outscore everybody.
I mean, he's right. I think long-term, fundamentally, I'm a huge believer. Once you get in the playoffs, at some point, if you're a defensive-focused team, you still got to put some points on the board against some of the elite offenses in this league. But yeah, he's throwing the blame off the defense by making those comments. Because last night's a total defense game. I mean,
they're all backhanded comments at the defense when he says we're not allowed to have turnovers or mistakes because we can't rebound from those.
Right.
At the next light,
we have to
turn
be able to
right.
outscore a team like this. I mean, that he's saying those because he knows his defense is terrible.
Exactly.
So why even comment on it?
Right. He's asking about it.
I'm a little ticked this morning, to be honest, with the defense. Like, I wasn't like, we knew what we had, but they're no better so far.
Oh, I know.
But you've given up 76 points in 2 games?
Yeah. Well, look, one of them was an interception return for that pick six.
Yeah.
But still, you're right. They are as bad as they were under the previous regime. But the reason
35 points per game taking away the pick six.
Yeah, but the reason
At the
I'll
light,
give them
turn right
somewhat
onto
of a
Northwestern
pass,
Highway.
is because the secondary, as John pointed out, is really, really young. And up front, they played okay last night.
But let me ask
linebacker.
this.
And it's going to take a while, though.
Why is it acceptable for them to have the same kind of defense right now under this regime? Why do they get a complete... This word that was used last week is really coming to the surface on me, that it's expansion. This is not an expansion team, okay?
Well, defensively, defensively, the back seven basically is an expansion team.
Well, why is that acceptable?
Because they had so many players that are already here. You can't completely, change everybody.
You can't get 53 new players, and when you go
Make a U-turn.
draft after draft, and you don't have, production out of especially the second round picks or your first round picks in Okuda or Jarrett Davis, and you don't have those players, now all of a sudden you basically are an expansion team because you're playing without talent, and you have to replenish that talent. You can't do it.
In 6.2 miles, take exit 14C onto M39 and Southfield Freeway.
Get, 11 new starters on defense.
And the starters they got on, the young players they got on defense after, their defensive linemen. And they haven't really played that much, and the defensive line has not been the problem. Problem is linebacker. Gee, I don't know. Some people wanted Micah Parsons around here.
Yeah, and guess who's making some plays? And
damn freaking right.
And flustering Justin Herbert.
Yes.
Sunday.
Yes, but Penei Sewell has played pretty damn good.
I know.
And he had a holding penalty yesterday. I've got no complaints.
I just don't know. Look, these guys deserve their opportunity. It's just a total free pass central this season, which just sucks. It
Yeah, but
sucks.
we knew that going
I know,
in.
but it sucks being here my entire life and dealing with this crap, you know? And you just see nothing. You see nothing defensively so far. Absolutely nothing. What you want to see is hope and improvement and move into next year.
Right.
You know, 2 games.
Okay, well, your hope and improvement is when Wayne McNeil stretches the defense out and makes a tackle on a running back. That shows a young guy that can play at this level. Now, I need to see more from Coach Enrique. I need to see more from some
Sign up and start earning now. Terms and conditions apply. Not available in all states. See cbs.com/RxRewards or the pharmacy for details.
From the team behind the North American International Auto Show is Motormall, the all-outdoor auto show happening this Thursday through Sunday at Pontiac's M1 Concourse. All Ford Bronco. Take thrill rides in high-end sports cars. Jump in a new Jeep and Ram for wild off-road rides. And check out new cars and exclusive vehicle reveals. Get tickets at Motormall.com or the M1 event entrance. Sponsored by Delta Airlines, MEDC, and Michelin. Presented by PNC Bank.
10 grand in cash makes for amazing memories. So get to Saginaw Eagles Landing for September to remember. Every Saturday starting at 5 p.m., we're giving away $1,000 to one lucky player every hour. Then at 10 p.m. each week, someone will take home the $10,000 cash grand prize. Now that's a September to remember. Only at Saginaw Eagles Landing Casino and Hotel. Check for now. Visit Saginaw-EaglesLanding.com for complete rules and details. This hour of instant feedback brought to you by Mike Polaro of National Benefit Plans. For affordable health insurance, call 877-734-2200.
Joining us on the Sonny and Jansen program, the offensive
In 1 mile,
University
turn
of
right onto
Michigan.
Ferris Avenue.
The offense has been pretty damn good. Josh Gaddis joined us. How are you? You gotta be feeling great.
Yeah, feeling great. It's been a good start. Just really proud of the kids. It's really just come down to the execution. We talked about all offseason our leadership and how high it was and how
Stay in the
good we
second
felt
lane
about the
from
leaders that we
left.
have on offense. And you're seeing those guys go out and play at an extremely high level. It's obviously starting up front for us with the way our offensive line is playing and the way our tight ends are playing. And then obviously with our special running backs that we have. And so it's been a great start, but we got to keep it going. We're pretty healthy right now up to this point. Looking forward to a tough opponent coming in here this weekend.
With the way that you guys have been able to run the ball offensively, we talked to Sharon Moore. He talked about the depth and the competition for some of those spots. That competition's still going. Has there been anything on this offense through 3 games that has surprised you?
I think quietly how well our tight ends are playing. I think for most people, when you judge that position, you base it on numbers, you base it on catches, you base it on yards. But they're the unsung heroes in our offense. You look at the physicality of that group and how well they're playing in the run game. They're oftentimes at the point of attack. And so, our running backs and our offensive line get a ton of credit for the production that we're getting out of the run game. But I think our tight ends are just up there. They're playing at a very, very high level.
Why is this year in year 3 different than your previous 2? Everybody seems to think, we heard all about speed and space. Well, where was it? I don't know if we're seeing speed and space, but we're seeing a hell of a lot of points. So why is it different this year?
I don't know if it's different. I just think, it's for the guys. They're older. We've been playing with a lot of young guys out there. When you look out there, last year was Blake Corum's true freshman year in a COVID year. We knew the type of talent he had. You look out there at Zach Zenner, how many young guys that we've played, A.J. Henning, guys that are out there making a ton of plays. And so we were just a young team in the past. And we finally have the guys in here that, we've recruited and the guys that have been in the system now 2 or 3 years. And they've really taken it over. And so, credit to our players, credit to our leadership. And, I'm just proud of those guys for the way they're playing at the level they're playing at.
We know, obviously, Ronnie Bell went out. We know what he was going to mean to this offense, what he meant in that first game. But
In 3
you've
quarters
had
of a mile,
Cornelius
turn
with
left
obviously a
onto
big play,
Capitol
87-yard touchdown reception, but also the emergence of A.J. Henning, not just as a pass catcher, but just as a tool for this offense. What's he meant and his emergence meant for this offense?
Yeah, he's a weapon. It doesn't matter if he's a punt returner or, any way that he can touch the ball. AJ was one of the top players in the country coming out of high school for that exact reason. He's dynamic with the ball in hand. He's the guy that, when opposing defensive coordinators probably watch our film, they say, hey, we got to try to figure out, how to stop this guy or be aware of where he is. And so we feel like we got a number of those guys, AJ, Roman, Mikey, different guys that can create big plays for us and stuff. And so what it allows us to do is it allows us to stretch the defense. From a run game standpoint, we want to be physical and downhill, but our receivers allow us to make the defense have to, expand and run for 53 and a third, cover 53 and a third, and keep us balanced in that standpoint offensively.
I want to ask you about another one of your receivers, Baldwin. I mean, what did you see in the transfer portal when you looked at the video, when you saw his name, say, man, we got to get him?
It was, Dalen was a very unique situation because he played spring football. So this is really his second season in about 5 months. And a lot of people don't realize that. But when his opportunity came and he hit the transfer portal, we invited him to come up for a private workout, and he came up and he blew the doors off of it. Just phenomenal ball skills, his competition level, being a veteran guy, who's been in college football a few years now. His maturity in that room was very important, and so he had a great offseason, a great camp. He kind of got nicked up going into our first game, which kind of slowed him down, but now he's back to full speed, and we're really excited about what he can provide for us.
Blake Corum and Hassan Haskins in the backfield. It's a great 1-2 punch. They've had almost equal amount of carries. Is that something that you want to continue, equal amount of carries? And is there any concern, or how do you become
Turn left
less
onto Capitol
predictable
Avenue.
with
Then the
each of those guys
destination is
in
on
there?
your left.
I think I think it just comes down to the balance. One, let me say this first, is how pleased I am with the way they've handled everything. You're talking about two guys that are unselfish. They'll do anything and everything for the team. Whether they get 20 carries, 10 carries, as long as we win, they're happy. And so credit to those guys, and credit to, Coach Hart really kind of, managing that room and developing those guys. But, every game's different. It's hard to say that, we go into a game with a certain amount of carries that we want for each back. Obviously, you're gonna rely on your hot hand and what's working. And that's the key for us is, so far we haven't ran into issues where, we've had to change or adapt, to our game plan. And, we've made minor tweaks, minor adjustments throughout games. But, our guys are doing a great job going out executing. And so we feel like those two guys specifically are two of our best playmakers on offense, and we're going to find as many ways for them to touch the ball.
Josh Gaddis joins us on the Stoney and Jansen program. You also have another freshman chirping, and he wants the ball a lot too. How do you keep everybody happy? I mean, not just Donovan. I mean, Dunlap showed that what he could do on Saturday as well.